Hello and welcome back to episode 3 of Amateur Cast of a Random Game, where I spectate a random solo queue game in the League client and then cast it, upload it to YouTube, and share it with my friends, just to practice my casting as much as anything else. As always, I'll add the disclaimer that there may be some swearing in this video, although I'll try to keep it to a minimum. Um, so, yeah, as always, with the League Spectate client, I get in about 10 to 15 minutes into the game. In this case, Red Team are up 11 kills to 6 and have 5.8k gold advantage. And they've got 3 turrets to 0. So, as we see Nautilus and Mundo dive in this Gnar, which for some reason his avatar hasn't loaded in my client, um, uh, yeah, Red definitely have the advantage coming out of the laning phase. They may be sacrificing some of it by overdying there. I don't think Ashe essentially should be in melee range with a Rek'Sai under a turret, especially not with all of this. Like basically 3 or 4 supports. Red again overdiving. Nautilus is going to go down 8 to 12 now. The gold gap is closing, and Red team. Oh, here comes Talon. Doesn't manage to find anything just yet, but there's a very tasty Mundo. Takes him down with his Q. It's Noxian diplomacy, I believe. And yeah, so evening up a little bit. I think Red getting very cocky, overcommitting to that top turret there, not even getting the objective, which realistically means what were they doing? Chasing more kills. Um, Rek'Sai now is going to take the opportunity to get some scuttle control, possibly look to take this 15-minute Drake with Vayne. While they're doing that, I'll try and organize these. So the top laner for blue side is Gnar. Sorry that it hasn't formed. I have no idea why. Up against Mundo, a very exciting lane to watch, no doubt. Blue team do secure the first dragon. Um, which considering that just a minute or two ago, Red seemed like they really had an advantage. That's great for Blue, and that's the price that Red paid for overdiving on a top turret, not securing an objective and losing an objective elsewhere in the map because of the loss in pressure. Here we see Morgana caught. Probably doesn't have enough speed to get away from Vayne. The heal. The heal from Ashe saves her life, but here she comes. She's exhausted. Onto Ashe. Vayne is still going hard. I think this Ashe might have sacrificed herself to save a Morgana, which must mean it's opposite day. In the jungle, we've got a Rek'Sai up against a Nautilus. Oh, a Nautilus in the jungle is always a terror to behold. In the mid lane, got one of my favorites, Talon, up against Azir. That's quite a tough matchup for Talon. And then in the bot lane, you've got Vayne and Severe into Ashe Morgana. So, over composition wise, uh, just taking a quick look at blue. Obviously, Vayne is a late game carry. Talon has a notoriously weak early game, although he can start to transition into a really good mid game if he starts to get some kills. 2-3-2 now. He's got his Tiamat, he's got his Brita and his Mobies, so he's had a power spike. Um, Vayne going down in the bot lane is bad news though, especially in the solo kill against the Nautilus. He should have just been able to kite back. But Nautilus, he's a tricky character, and it looks like he did blow his ult as well to get that. Vayne actually dying, using her flash, maybe not. Uh, so yeah, so Talon and Vayne building to great strength. Janna pretty much always the same, and Gnar he has a good engage. He has some good tank. It looks like he's kind of gone mixed magic resistance early. He's worried about the Azir. He's worried about the cleavers. Um, but he's not putting too much pressure on anything right now, especially down about 18 to 20 CS, um, and down on kills. So Blue's comp isn't great uh, because Vayne and Talon can be vulnerable if caught exposed or out of position. Obviously, in this case, when they had the numbers advantage in bot lane, they were able to just clean up a ton of upfront AD damage. But later, as you see, Mundo already got his Sunfire Cape, already got his Warden's Mail, already got his Ninja Tabi, means that he is very difficult for Vayne and Talon to kill, unless he's already chunked down. Oh. Yeah, so flipping over the other side, you've got Azir, who is just an obscene late game mage. He does like terrible damage from miles away. Um, you've got Mundo who gets super tanky. You've got Nautilus, the same super tanky, tons of engage. Morgana who provides nice peel and CC for her Ash, keeps her alive. Uh, Not so much, but has the potential to in late game team fights. So I prefer Red's composition here, even though Blue has recently taken back some advantages. I think that's kind of Talon caught on a ward. CC is his enemy. They have vision of him with the sweepers, and down he goes. And now that's very bad on the behalf of Talon. First, that he's still running an unupgraded yellow trinket. He should at the very least have a red in there or an upgraded vision so that he can know for sure that the bush he's standing in isn't warded. That's the only way you can confidently assassinate people. And in this case, he's paid for his mistake there with his life, and it's put Blue at an apparent disadvantage, although these guys in the top lane don't think so. But elsewhere in the map, the mid lane is under pressure. We've got Azir facing down into Vayne, while these two guys up top take about 6 months to kill this Mundo. I think that Monsoon from Janna actually saved his life, pushed him out of all of the creep block, and let him get away. But anyway, they committed two people up top for 30, 40 seconds and got nothing for it, you know? A little bit of turret pressure here, maybe, but still haven't got a kill. Meanwhile, the rest of their team is free to move around the map. Ash getting free farm in bot. Azir and Nautilus were keeping mid pushed out, all the while ticking down to a Drake in 1 minute 17. And the Gnar, they do get Mundo. They smush him into a wall. Azir and Morgana have died. Looks like Gnar just about gets out by the skin of his teeth. But Janna, I don't think you can really say the same for her. She's in big trouble here. So overall, that was kind of good for Red side. And there is a beautiful arrow through onto the vein. Also gets the crit from the Ash auto attack that followed the flash. Now Talon's in, he will clean up, but no doubt about that. But does he have enough to take out this Nautilus? I guess over time and without backup, yes. And that means overall that's good for Blue. A lot of players on Blinky health bars, but they only lose one and they get 2 kills. I think that Talon turned that around, although Vayne got caught early. And if she keeps doing that, she will never hit that late game plateau that makes her godlike. Just keep an eye too for the Thornmail finished on Nautilus. You've got the Zonya's Hourglass on Morgana. You've got the makings of a Randuin's and a Sunfire and a Doran's onto Mundo. So they're all getting tons and tons of AD stack, um, which is going to make it harder and harder for Talon to have an impact late game. Nice binding onto Bane, catches her again, Emperor's Divide, and an Ignite, I think, is enough. Talon's in late, but the Zonya's on Morgana, blocks the damage. Azir is able to take him out. Before she comes out of Zonya's, he uses his own, but it looks like Blue might have grouped properly. See, this is the problem. Red are taking these fights, and Ash is down bot, Mundo's up top, Nautilus is on the red side jungle, which meant that it was 3-on-2 in that case, but potentially a 5-on-2. I think, yeah, because of the members killed. It was a 5-on-2 there. So although they got some kills, just not smart fights to be taking. In this case, Mundo's going to be able to take advantage of the lack of pressure in top lane, grab a turret for himself. Means the only tier 1 turret standing on the map for blue side is on the bot, which is where Ash is getting destroyed by a trio, um, which again is pulling pressure off other areas in the map. But in this case, it looks like Bane and Talon might have enough to eventually burn down through the Mundo, seeing as his team isn't able to return any damage at the same time. And that's kind of a thing about Mundo. By yourself, you're not all that useful. I mean, there is the point at which you can bully people with cleavers, and when you get past that point, you have to be with your team because you need that follow-up damage. But it's a moot point now. Looks like the Rek'Sai and the Janna are going to steal this buff away from red side, while Morgana and Gnar play away in the mid there. But Gnar's got to be careful. He's got double buff. He's taken the Morgana. He's hopped out of the Morgana ult, the Soul Shackles, which is a great name. A lot of milling around between red and blue in that blue side jungle, but no objective to be secured there. So ultimately, I think as the game progresses, that red are going to get stronger and stronger. I've seen blue come ahead in the fights overall, but red still managed to take out the carries time and again. 6 deaths on Vayne, and you've got 5 deaths on Talon, which is making up most of the kills that red side have. So they're getting the right targets. Again, Vayne goes down. Again, Talon is going to get a kill. No, goes over to Rek'Sai, pops the Yomu. Uh, Mundo's going to chase. Now Mundo can do it because all of Talon's cooldowns are down. Morgana coming in. Can she get a binding? See, the split focus here is killing him too because they're kind of on Janna, they're kind of on Talon, but nobody's actually dead yet. Morgana's made a big mistake. She gets popped. Now you're talking about 2 people down on red side, only 1 person down on blue side. It looks like it's blue fight again, and if red keep throwing like this, they will not get to the late game that they need to win it. And right now, Talon is doing work. 8-5-5. He's uh, got his Yomu's completed. He's got his Tiamat. He's got a pickaxe, which is likely on the way to a last Whisperer. And yeah, after this fight, he's definitely going to be able to afford it. And unless Red can find a way to shut him down, they're not going to be able to win these team fights. And so far, they've been able to take out Vayne, but really, she's not doing the bulk of the damage. At 376, she is being effectively shut down. It's time to switch your focus to somebody else on the team. So, looks like Azir will arrive in time to contest this. I think with a full mana bar, he has to worry about a Gnar over here. He's been pretty effectively zoned, which is, Mega Gnar is up at the perfect time, but that Baron has reset, and blue side have moved in, but they're so low. I can't believe they let that reset. They have to leave now. Just the Baron attacks alone might be enough. Shut down on Talon, very nicely done by Morgana, uh, and that's a shutdown on another kill on Gnar as well. And really, blue side overstayed, so they had that. If they just focused on it, they may have been able to do it, but they ended up splitting their focus, peeling off the Baron. Nobody could tank it after Gnar left, which meant that it reset, and yeah, handed 3 kills over to the red side, and really just reset the clock on this game. Now it's 24 kills to 22. Red side are up about 4.4k gold. Doesn't mean an awful lot now. 25 minutes in, it's a slight advantage. Most of that they've gotten from the last couple of kills. Ashe getting caught by Rek'Sai, but Azir is there to poke Rek'Sai back off the kill if he commits too much to get a kill. But here comes Talon. Yomu's popped. Ult is ready. Pops, ults, ease, waits, tracks the ult, knocks in diplomacy, another rake, Tiamat, and down he goes. A very nice combo there from Talon. Actually came out without taking any damage from it. And Ashe kind of leaving the the Azir that came to rescue her out to dry. And potentially with Ashe 974, Azir 453, it was probably the right decision in that case. But still, Azir blows his Zonya's cooldown, which means that's another weight. And looking at some of the items here, I'm especially looking at, oh, Mundo's caught again, condemned into the wall, which is very nice. Janna actually misses with the Hurricane. Rek'Sai is there with the Unburrow knock up, so it secures a kill for Vayne. Much needed at stage, I'll say too, even though she's sharing the gold over. So what are Red doing, Are they split pushing? If so, do they have the vision to do it? Clearly not, if the entire blue team is able to rotate up and do that. Um, the next major objective on everybody's mind seems to be the Baron. And now the 2 teams are going to start running into each other as they secure and clear vision from it. And it comes down to which team has the ability and the will to control the vision there, make the area dark, and force the other team to come in and engage on your terms. We see Gnar setting up for a split push on bot. He's got TP up. We see the Righteous Glory popped on the Nautilus, an early Black Shield, which I don't know if it was really necessary against the Talon. The ult does hit on Talon, but he's too far away from anybody for it to matter. So Red are grouping, but they're down a number of significant cooldowns. And just quickly on the items, this Nautilus, like excuse me, you got the Janna flashes out of the dredge line, but gets caught by the Assault. Anyway, still goes down as a kill over onto Azir. Uh, And Vayne also getting caught. Now, this is perfect for Red because they've got a numbers advantage. They can fight for position. I don't know if they necessarily even want to Baron bait because once you get out there, it's talent country. This guy is 10, 6, 5. He's sitting on his last whisper. He's got his BF and his pickaxe on the way to that Infinity Edge. When he completes that item, there's not a member on his team that he won't be able to take down. A nice Zanya is to keep Morgana healthy for long enough for the rest of her team to finish off Dragon and get there. Righteous and Glory expires without anybody caught. Mundo is ulting onto Rek'Sai. Nah, he did manage to land a second consecutive cleaver, forces the flash. No more on the third. That's two for three, and that is Gnar. Oh, a nice two-man ult into the wall. Azir escapes it by Zhonyaing. Vayne goes down. Ashe is down. Talon is down. That's really big for red team. And yeah, Nautilus does go down, but so does Gnar. And in the end, so does Rek'Sai. And that's a shutdown onto Azir. And that's almost an ace. It's a 4 for 2, but it's Janna left, and it's not exactly like she's the wave clear queen. Question is, what are Red going to take? At the moment, the pings are coming in for Drake. Rek'Sai up in 25 seconds, and his ult is up too. They do well to remove that turret as they did. But Janna can poke here. We've seen the occasional hero hurricane to come through, but I don't think this is going to happen. Not with Nazir, not with a Morgana. A little bit early, and there it goes. So that's the first Drake for Red, and it's significant because it's the first time they've come out of a team fight with enough strength to take an objective like that. Up till now, it's all been when Blue's been out of position, they managed to sneak the towers that they have, but haven't really been grouping and sieging effectively since that first catastrophic dive almost immediately when the stream started. So they're they dug themselves into a deep power trough, and it took them honestly 20 minutes to climb back out of it. And now it looks like they're at the point where their late game scaling is hitting. Azir is sitting on his death cap, on his Morello. He's got his Zanyas. He's building Ludens, so he's looking really good. Um, the Nautilus and the Mundo are just getting like insanely tanky, and oh, it's nothing. Janet takes some poke, but it's not too bad. There's the Righteous Glory down. Not so Glory in this case. Got Talon from base. Vayne's pushed off. Janna's out of position. Mundo's, or there's a potential catch. Azir turret's up, taking Rek'Sai back into it. Nara's in, but he's not really hitting anybody. That's a very good kill on Rek'Sai. Put up a turret, and then the Emperor's divided him back into it. Janna blows them out, but how long is that really going to buy? As the TP comes into the minion, get the free time on the turret. Ashe is loving this. Inhibitor is going to go down. Talon may consider an engage if he gets the opportunity. Mundo should be careful not to get too low because they could burst through his ultimate. But they have the inhibitor, they've taken an engage. Talon did take down Mundo, but Janna went down in return. Vayne has zoned Morgana and Nautilus and everybody else, but those are not the people she needs to be killing right now. There's an Azir and an Ashe running around. And anyway, Nautilus has got enough to force Vayne back off of it. Red should really. Oh, that's a nice Gnar. He Zanya's that, but I don't think he's got anything. Oh, oh, Azir did get out, but Talon's gonna have that one. Ashe is down. Ashe has got Gnar, but oh, Kites gets him. That's actually very disappointing for Talon. He should have been able to secure that kill. Nautilus, the ridiculous tank, gets away on a sliver of health. Azir the same. Morgana the same. But they secured the objective. They got the tower. They got the inhibitor, and they managed to get most of their members out. So really, really, yeah, great for red team, and you can see it in the goal. They're up 7k. Kills are even. Drakes are pretty close, 2 to 1 on blue side, but 7 turrets to 4 on red side, and you're starting to get to the point now where you don't know if the Vayne Talon upfront damage is enough to burst down the Azir, the Ashe, and if you don't kill those targets and they are allowed to do sustained damage throughout the team fight, they're just out damaging this 4-9 Vayne, you know. So and Let's take a look at the farm really quickly. It's probably a bit late to do it, but Mundo. Oh, a nice catch onto Jana there. Gets the volley, gets the crit. There goes the Nar, and secured, I should say, by Azir. But nice work, boys. That's a pick on to Jana that should allow Red Side to get Baron Vision and deny that information to Blue, so they're not as able to make as good decisions due to the lack of information. And I think Drake's not really going to be a concern as so much in this. I think when they're taken, it'll be incidental, but the game is likely to end before either team achieves 5 Drake Strack. It's not really been a focus for them when there's so much fighting going on anywhere else. And it has just been brawling. I mean, again, we're talking about 61 kills in 34 minutes, so 2 kills a minute pretty much. Uh, Mundo's gone very deep. He's gone after that vein. She's trying to kill through his regen, but doesn't quite. Yes, she does take him down in the end, but Nar goes down in rods. But Talon is doing free damage. He's taken out by Ash. Um, Looks like Red have managed to. Yes, they've just managed to kill just about everybody on the blue team. It looked like individually some of those fights were going well for blue, but there's just so much tank on red. There was nothing they could do in the end, and now the game is over. It's been uh, up until about maybe 5 or 10 minutes ago. About 5 minutes ago, it could have gone either way. And then Red started to survive the team fights more. They got the tankiness, they got the stuff they needed, the items, and they were able to just win the team fights, take the objectives, and snowball it, which with a composition like Blues was only a matter of time. And that's the end of episode 3 of Amateur Cast of a Random League game. I'm just gonna try and like mix up styles and try different things, but if you have any feedback on it, positive or negative, feel free to send it to me or post it or add it or whatever. And other than that, thanks for listening. Goodbye, folks.